There was a lot of controversy because Eli was interpreted as saying that he deserved almost a perfectly thrown ball, almost a perfect catch. It just wasn't there. But, you know, you can't spell elite without Eli. And I think he's in that second tier of quarterbacks right behind the big 4 or 5.
What he has got, or what he's encouraging, whichever way it works this season, as well as Hakeem Nicks, who we all know about, is other emerging receivers, particularly Victor Cruz and Ballard as well, Jake Ballard.
Yeah, and these guys have really come through. Cruz was an undrafted free agent out of the University of Massachusetts, Ballard out of Ohio State, and Ballard has stepped right into Kevin Boss's shoes, running a lot of the same plays he did. They like to send their tight end downfield in the seam, and you saw him make a good catch there. Cruz runs great routes. He's got good hands, and he's been phenomenal after the catch as well, as you see in this one. And now here's Ballard against the Patriots. This won the game. He's the tight end on the left, but the key to the play is the other tight end, Bear Pasco, lined up as a fullback. He goes in the flat. Ehegdebo, the safety, has to hold the edge and take him there, which means Tracy White, the linebacker, has to take Ballard, but he can't get out in time. Ballard gets out there quickly enough, watch the release, and then the cut. Yeah. And so he's between Ballard, between White and the ball. And then this was a great play by Victor Cruz, spinning out of the tackles and getting a touchdown against Miami. Guys added to what they have. And they lost Steve Smith to the Eagles, so he'll be back tonight against his old team. But it didn't really matter. Cruz has more than replaced him. Boss signed as a free agent. They've replaced him too, and they've done it internally. They've done it with smart pickups, and we can talk later on about what they've done on their defense as well. Because tonight we're going to see 2 rookies at linebacker for them.
Well, we can look at the Eagles now as well. And of course, there's been endless talk about how their defense has not stepped up to what it should be. But they're off to MetLife Stadium, which you've just seen there in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Philadelphia Eagles against the New York Giants.
The game progresses, and as he came out onto the field, Barbara and Sandy, his parents, are there. And what a moment that had to be for them and for Mark, who played at Boston College, undrafted, and he has not played a snap yet this season on defense. He has been on special teams, but the Giants very young at linebacker tonight. We'll detail it, but we'll keep an eye on that and see if Philadelphia tries to exploit it.
You know, Mom Barbara was there at every single one of his treatments for the cancer, the radiation, the chemotherapy, and we asked him about how excited Mom might be for this game. Said, oh, she'll be in tears on the drive over. There's no question about it.
There is Tom Coughlin. 250th game as an NFL head coach. Only Belichick and Shanahan with that many to this point, and Andy Reid in terms of tenure with one team, 13th season at Philadelphia, head coach there since 1999. And Lawrence Tynes will be kicking off for the Giants on a perfect night. Eagles won the toss, and they will take the ball. Dion Lewis, a rookie, is back to receive. Rookie out of the University of Pittsburgh, 5th round draft choice. And it's the Giants and the Eagles, and away we go from the Meadowlands, with Tynes sending it into the end zone about 5 yards in. And Lewis out past the 20, tackled at the 23-yard line. Let's take a look at the Philadelphia starters.
Vince Young, the University of Texas.
LaShawn McCoy,
Pitt Panthers.
Deshaun Jackson, California.
Riley Cooper, Florida.
Jason Avant, Carver Military Academy. Brent Sullick, Cincinnati.
Jason Peters, Arkansas.
Evan Mathis, Alabama.
Jason Kelsey, UC.
Danny Watkins, West Kelowna, Station 31.
Todd Herman, Saginaw Valley.
Kelsey and Watkins, both rookies. Watkins, rookie out of Baylor. Kelsey, a rookie out of the University of Cincinnati. From the 23-yard line on 1st down, they start with play action, and Young throws at the feet of McCoy. Young has thrown only 1 pass this season, and it was intercepted. Now, you know about Young, the stellar college career at Texas, finished 2nd to Reggie Bush in the Heisman balloting. He had that sensational performance in the Rose Bowl when they beat SC for the national championship. Then a checkered 5 years at Tennessee, which ended last year in a shouting match in the locker room with Jeff Fisher. They put him on injured reserve. Andy Reid brought him to Philadelphia as the backup to Vic, and with Vic hurt, he gets the start tonight. On 2nd down and 10, a little dump to the right side, and this time it's McCoy, and he can go next to nowhere as Corey Webster makes the tackle. Gain of 1. It'll be 3rd down and 9.
Well, you can tell what Andy Reid wants to do. Just get Vince Young out there. He hasn't played in a long time. Just get his feet settled. A couple of short passes. And actually, that's his first completion of the year. It was in his first pass this season. It was intercepted.
He has played extremely minimally because Vic has stayed relatively healthy. And even when Vic got hurt early in the season, Young was also hurt with a hamstring, and they went to Mike Kafka. But it's Young's game tonight. And on 3rd and long, over the middle, throws a strike to the tight end, Brent Selleck. And that's a 1st down at the 38-yard line.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see tonight whether or not the Giants' young rookie linebackers in here, Spencer Paysinger right there, Jaquan Williams right there, can they hold up in pass defense? These are all rookies. They are going to be tested. Fortunately for them, it's not Mike Vick, but it gives Vince Young an opportunity to create plays in the middle of the field.
At the 38-yard line, Young will take this snap out of the shotgun. And rolling to his right, and he throws near side. And that's Jackson making the catch. And we'll take a look at the Giants defense.
Justin Tuck, Notre Dame.
Lumbo Joseph, East Carolina.
Chris Canty, Wahoo Watt.
Osi Umenyiora, University of Troy.
Matthias Kiwanuka, Boston College.
Mark Hertzlich, Boston College.
Corey Webster, LSU.
Kenneth Phillips, PU.
Antrell Roll, the U.
Deion Grant, Tennessee.
Aaron Ross, the University of Texas.
And one guy back in that defense tonight, Prince Amukamara, the rookie out of Nebraska, #1 draft choice, who will see his first action of the season. He was in on the last play, out right now, and a flag here from Mike Carey.
Offense number 79, 5-yard penalty is still second.
That's Todd Herremans.
Well, it was the signal caller tonight, Deion Grant, who called his own signal, going to come down here and fake a blitz. And Todd Herremans just flinched a little bit, and that was enough. Kind of interesting. Don't often see defensive backs, especially really a non-starting defensive back, as a signal caller, but he's a veteran, been around for a long time, takes over for Michael Boley, who's out tonight.
2nd down and 8. And here's an inside handoff, and McCoy, 2nd in the league in rushing. Coming into this weekend, gets to the 46-yard line. Broke away from a Linval Joseph would-be tackle. It'll be 3rd down and 2 for the Eagles.
Yeah, they tried to run a trap in here against Joseph, and Joseph almost beat Peters to the spot. Just barely able to get past there, and LaShawn McCoy still managed to make something out of it.
McCoy coming into the game 906 yards. So on his way to a 4-figure season. Might even get there tonight. The pass to the outside. Flag is thrown. Avant makes the catch. And he's out of bounds at the 41. And we figure to see a lot more of Avant tonight because Jeremy Maclin is hurt. Was hurt last week against Arizona, inactive.
Offense number 14, 10-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
And we'll also see a lot more of Riley Cooper because of the Maclin injury. And you just saw Cooper right there. They called him for the offensive foul.
Al, they tried to get the pick. Watch Cooper come down and just drill the defender. There's Antrell Roll. And he got the pick. Sort of squeezed into it, but the official saw it. Good call. And they marked it off.
3rd down and 12. Opening drive of the game. Young making his first start since last November, almost exactly a year ago in Tennessee. Great protection, and then he dumps it underneath, and only getting to the 40-yard line is Selleck, and that's Spencer Paysinger, one of the rookies, the rookie out of Oregon, the free agent, who makes the tackle, and the Eagles will have to punt.
I actually don't think that was all that bad an opening possession there for Vince Young. You know he's got to be nervous out here. It's a new offense for him. He's trying to feel his way through this thing, and to at least not throw an interception, get some completions down. Now he can settle in.
Aaron Ross is back to receive the kick. This is Chaz Henry, one of their 2 rookie kickers, and he bangs that one into the end zone. And Eli and his gang will go to work at the 20-yard line. 10:40 to go in the first. No score at the Meadowlands.
That's not much of a backup. I expect Jacobs will have to carry the load.
Yeah. From the 20-yard line, here go the Giants on their first offensive play, and the ball is given to Brandon Jacobs, who picks up 4. Eli Manning, a lot of folks saying it's his best year. Of course, when you talk to some of the Giants, nobody wants to say, well, we're going to compare this year to last. But when we brought it up to Tom Coughlin the other day, he did not dispute it, making very good decisions. Last year plagued by a lot of interceptions, albeit many of those on tipped balls, but making much better choices this year. And his receivers have really come into fruition. In particular, Jake Ballard, the tight end, and Victor Cruz, one of the wideouts. 2nd and 7. Manning sliding to his left and then wide open. And the minute, of course, you talk about one of them. There goes Jake Ballard, and there's our kibosh for him.
Well, Jake Ballard has been one of the great surprises for the Giants this year. Is just absolutely wide open, and Eli could not have thrown a better ball. Blown coverage on the part of the Eagles, and that hurts. He has been the guy down the field, despite the fact that he runs a 5-flat 40, one of the slower tight ends in the league. But he is averaging 16.5 yards per catch, which is remarkable. And believe me, he's been better than that.
Caught the game-winning touchdown pass against New England 2 weeks ago. Play clock all the way down. Manning sliding right this time, and that pass is incomplete. Asante Samuel with the coverage on DJ Ware. So it's 3 and out, and the Giants to punt.
Well, if you've watched the Eagles play at all, you know that you have to take care of these ends out here. So they're leaving Ballard in, the tight end, to help get him blocked. We were talking to Trent Cole a little bit, and boy, they are fired up for this one, as is this guy who sat out last week because Andy Reid sat him out.
Last time he returned to punt in Giant Stadium, no Giant fan wants to remember it. Wrecked their season. It ended the game and culminated a huge comeback. But this time, the kick by Weatherford backs him up to the 15-yard line. Jackson goes all the way back inside the 10. What a difference a year makes, huh?
You don't think they're enjoying that here, do you?
They love it. 61-yard kick, -6 on the return.
Well, momentum going first, Mike.
Well, momentum's always important, but it's a gossamer thing. You know, lithsome. Momentum's a lithsome lady that you're watching moving on. You never quite know when she's there.
Let's get back to East Rutherford.
Second year out of South Florida. Giants picked him #1 last year, and he's played brilliantly this season from the 11-yard line on first down. And here is McCoy, and he can't go anywhere. Antrell Roll is there after Kenny Phillips turned him around. It will be 2nd down. So McCoy, another guy really coming into his own as well. #2 draft choice in 2009 out of the University of Pittsburgh. Good chance to win the rushing title this season. The Eagles lead the league in rushing, partially because of McCoy and also because of Michael Vick. But no Vick tonight.
Not a bad running quarterback, though, if you have to have a plan B.
Meanwhile, you just saw Prince Amukamara, #1 pick out of Nebraska, seeing his first action of the season tonight. He got hurt early in training camp, and Young launches one deep, and it's going to be picked off, intended for Jackson, and intercepted by Amukamara. Welcome to New York.
I'll tell you what, he's a little bit lucky on that one.
Pretty good for his first opening big play.
So somebody's a lissome gossamer? We need to get back into actually watch the game. I say we're watching the Philadelphia Eagles, the late joiners, at the New York Giants.
Young launching one downfield. Jackson had gotten behind Amukamara, who stumbled, but the ball a little underthrown, and Amukamara gets back there, and 7 minutes or less into his NFL career, he already has his first interception. 23 straight games with a takeaway, or the equivalent of almost a season and a half for Tom Coughlin's team. Second Giants drive beginning at the 37. Off play action. Manning stepping up and hits his man Victor Cruz. serenaded with Cruz. First down for the Giants at the Eagle 45.
Well, Prince Amukamara got lucky. Here we go. Deshaun Jackson runs right by him. But Vince Young has not played enough with Deshaun Jackson to know that you can't take 3 steps before you throw the football. You have to hit that back foot, throw the thing as far as you can, and it probably still won't be far enough. Well underthrown by Vince Young. That one's really on him. And Prince, congratulations, but you got a break.
From the 45-yard line on first down. And Jacobs can't get out of the backfield, tackled by Darryl Tapp. Let's take a look at the starters here.
Eli Manning, Ole Miss.
Brandon Jacob, Southern Illinois.
Barry Pasco, Fresno State.
Mario Manningham, Warren G. Harding.
Hakeem Nicks, North Carolina.
Jake Ballard, The Ohio State.
William Beatty, UConn.
Dave Deal, University of Chief-Illinois.
David Voss, Michigan.
Chris Snee, Boston College.
Kareem McKenzie, Penn State.
Line doing a very good job, a little bit revamped this year. Ahmad Bradshaw missing a game again tonight with a foot injury, his 3rd straight. And this is Manning throws, and that's picked off. So the Eagles return the favor. That's Jamar Chaney, the middle linebacker in the middle of the field. And Philadelphia gets the ball back, and a flag comes in at the end of the play. And a good battle going on near the Giants bench. So the Eagles and the Giants having at it after each team has a pickoff here in the first half of the first quarter.
Both quarterbacks struggling right now. Eli Manning got pressure, stumbles out of there and tried to make an off-balance throw. This is strictly on him. He did not see the defender. He made a blind throw and paid a big price for it.
Personal fouls, unnecessary roughness on both teams. Philadelphia and New York are set at the dead ball spot. First down.
The question is, was Eli pursuing the defender with the ball? If he was, he's fair game. If not, you can't hit him.
He's sort of doing it half-heartedly, but he's in the neighborhood. So what are you supposed to do with the defense? Trevor Laws and Brian Roll were both there. And Coughlin is incensed. Tom chasing Mike Carey back out to the middle of the field.
I think it's the right call. He ran that way. He was in position to make the tackle. You're fair game at that point.
Yeah, it's one thing to say he's not going after him, and it doesn't look like he's really going after him, but he's in the neighborhood.
And Vince Young catches a big break that Eli returned the favor.
Now the ball at the 44-yard line, first down for Philadelphia. 3rd time they've had the ball. Good play fake, a ton of time, but the secondary does its work, and Young can run. Takes it to the 38-yard line, tripped up by Jason Pierre-Paul. Gain of 5, 2nd and 5.
Well, really just 2-man routes down the field, so you're going to see a lot of individual coverage. At the top of your screen, Corey Webster working against Deshaun Jackson. Maybe had a chance for that one late, but I'm going to guess that Vince Young liked running that football. Sometimes as a player, when you're nervous, to get hit for the first time actually settles you down.
McCoy swings to the outside. Good move. Comes up a little short of the first down. Tackled there by Aaron Ross. It'll be 3rd down and short.
Jason Peters is such a great athlete here. Watch him allow the first guy to run by, then get back up the field. His ability to block 2 essentially on this sprint draw is what's made it such a great play this year for the Philadelphia Eagles. See him working against Jason Pierre-Paul, dismisses him, goes down and gets Kiwanuka.
3rd and 1 at the 35. Wow. And in the backfield, knifing through Chris Canty, flexing his muscles and turning a 3rd and short into a 4th down and 5.
I have no idea what Evan Mathis is doing on this play. Here's Canty. Mathis tries to get up on the linebacker, and there's absolutely nobody there to block Canty. Watch him slide underneath him and leave Canty free. This game's been bizarre so far.
The Eagles will pass up an opportunity to kick a 57-yard field goal. They'll punt. Chaz Henry They'll send it down to Aaron Ross, who camps out at the 10-yard line. Puts the nose of the ball down. And that backspin. And it does its job. As it gets down to the 8-yard line. A little over 5 to play in the quarter. No score at the middle.
Yeah, no score.
The funny part is everyone knows who the quarterback is because they all want to hit him.
Last Monday night, and now you got Darrell Scott running the ball out to the 18-yard line as they go to their number 3 running back here, rookie out of Maryland, number 7 draft choice.
Well, let's go back. Now we've seen what has happened with Eli Manning on this play. Throws the interception, pursues the ball, perfectly fair game at this point. Jumps over the defender there, but now the tackle is going to be made, whistle blown. Now Eli gets hit. It was a late hit that had Tom Coughlin going crazy, and he was justified.
Absolutely. Once you saw the juxtaposition of what took place, you can understand it. And Jacobs with the ball loose. And again, a little battle. Well, maybe it's not loose. Everything looks like it's going to lead to a little bit of a battle. Jacobs holding on to it, but this is something that may play out throughout the entire course of events tonight.
Hey, it's elimination time for the Philadelphia Eagles. They know this is it for them, and their backup quarterback, their defense has to play brilliantly. And now here we go down the field. Manningham, Coleman, they're going to go at it. You know, when even the wide receivers are fighting, it's going to be one of those kind of nights.
Picked up the first down, got enough, takes it to the 19-yard line. Here goes Jacobs, big hole right side, 9 yards. And again, here we go again. Here's the Eagle D.
Jason Babin, Western Michigan.
Cullen Jenkins, Central Michigan.
Mike Patterson, Southern California.
Trent Cole, Cincinnati.
King Jordan, James Madison.
Jamar Chaney, Mississippi State.
Brian Roll, The Ohio State University.
Asante Samuel, UCF Knights.
Kirk Coleman, The Ohio State.
Nate Allen, South Florida. Nnamdi Asomugha, Narbonne High School, UC Berkeley.
Asomugha was the primary free agent pickup in the offseason. The ball goes to the 30-yard line. And again, on a second and short, they'll pick up a first down, and we have a flag.
Holding offense number 65. 10-yard penalty is still second down.
Obidi, the left tackle.
Well, it's tough to stick with that running game. If you've watched Philadelphia play at all this season, you know they've had issues, really a lot of issues on the defensive side, but especially trying to stop the run in that so-called wide 9 defense. But you end up with a penalty, and now all of a sudden some of those run plays aren't quite as good an option.
Second and 11. Where is the running back? Pascal in as the fullback. And to the outside, the pass intended for Manningham is incomplete. It'll be 3rd and 11. Asomugha on the coverage.
Well, you also probably know that Nnamdi Asomugha was the high-priced free agent that came over, supposed to cure the Blues and the Philadelphia secondary that's given up more touchdown passes than any team over the last 2 years. And he has been playing better of late. Had an interception in the game last week. Quite simply, it took this defense a little bit of time to find itself. A lot of changes, and they weren't very good early. A little bit better since.
3rd and 11 now. The ball is at the 18-yard line.
False start. Offense number 76. 5-yard penalty is still 3rd down.
And that's Tom Coughlin's son-in-law, Chris Snee. So they had a first down, and then you had the penalty that brought it back. Now you have another penalty, and it's 3rd and 16.
And for Philadelphia, in days gone by, you would say, all right, this is a definite blitz situation. But last week in their game, we saw Philadelphia blitz more than they had all season long. They basically were not a blitz team. They were last week. Let's see what we get.
Henry, 4 receivers out to the right side, and Manning then comes back the other way, intended for Ballard. And for Manning, it's a very inauspicious start tonight. 1 for 6. So Ballard did drop one between the numbers and 1 pick. And again, you got a little scrum.
Yeah. Tried to pull one off here. 4 receivers this side, so you think, all right, let's shift over that way, and then the Giants go screen backside to Ballard, but it wasn't there. Pretty good play by Cullen Jenkins to sniff that one out.
Weatherford, the former Jet. This time it's Chad Hall, not Jackson, who sets up to return the punt.
You know, Deshaun Jackson hasn't been great since that return last year. Just about 3.5 yards of return.
Weatherford's first kick was 61. This is another beauty. Hall from the 28-yard line, and he returns that to the 37-yard line. That's a 59-yard Weatherford kick. No score. Just the tip of the iceberg there, too. There was something that had to precede that, and he missed the game. Macklin got hurt during the game, and they lose to the Arizona Cardinals in Philadelphia. He's back tonight and still stewing over the fact that he doesn't have a new contract, even though he says he's not thinking about it. Of course he is. Ball's at the 37-yard line on first down. And Young throws into a lot of traffic intended for Cooper, surrounded by nothing but blue shirts. So Andy Reid, you know, it's a funny thing. You look at some of the coaches through history. Somebody said to me the other day, you know what, Parcells used to sit guys down, but they were always rookies.
Yeah.
They were guys that you really didn't need. What Andy did last week, I mean, he's taken one of his key out of a very big game.
Yeah, and Andy said, you know, young players get pulled in a lot of directions, especially around contract time. And Deshaun Jackson, who knows, was he trying to make a statement or did he just miss the meeting? But Andy took a really bold step, sat him down, and it may have cost him a game last week.
Especially after that injury to Macklin early on. Second down and 10, and here goes McCoy to the outside. And he gets shoved out of bounds, pushed out by Amuk Damara. Deshaun Jackson, so many big plays over the preceding seasons. He had 3 receptions of 40 more yards over the first 4 games, but none over the last 4. Young throws into a lot of traffic intended for Cooper, surrounded by nothing but blue shirts. So Andy Reid, you know, it's a funny thing. You look at some of the coaches through history. Somebody said to me the other day, you know what, Parcells used to sit guys down, but they were always rookies.
Yeah.
They were guys that you really didn't need. What Andy did last week, I mean, he's taken one of his key out of a very big game.
Yeah, and Andy said, you know, young players get pulled in a lot of directions, especially around contract time. And Deshaun Jackson, who knows, was he trying to make a statement or did he just miss the meeting? But Andy took a really bold step, sat him down, and it may have cost him a game last week.
Especially after that injury to Macklin early on. Second down and 10, and here goes McCoy to the outside. And he gets shoved out of bounds, pushed out by Amuk Damara. Deshaun Jackson, so many big plays over the preceding seasons. He had 3 receptions of 40 more yards over the first 4 games, but none over the last 4. And nothing really in punt returns. Take a look at that. A guy who would electrify everybody in Philadelphia, of course, and electrified them the wrong way here with that punt return, averaging 2.8 per return.
But what did Tom Coughlin say? Say, I still don't want to kick to him.
No way.
Law of averages.
3rd and 9. Blitz coming. Young gets it away, and the pass is incomplete. Intended for Avant. Pressure put on Young. Defense did its job in the secondary on the back end. 4th down.
You know, one of the really good battles is going to be on the outside. Jason Peters against Osi Umenyiora. Umenyiora is a guy that is a speed rusher, and Jason Peters knows it. We talked to him. He said that the thing that Umenyiora always wants to do is get up the field, get off the ball as fast as he can. He goes, I know what he's going to do. I'm going to get there.
Henry's 3rd punt. Fair catch pulled for, made at the 22-yard line by Aaron Ross with 1.5 minutes to play in the opening quarter. Eli Manning against the Eagles, and Michelle talked to him about it before the game. 4 TD passes week 15 last year, and then 4 TD passes week 3 this year in Philadelphia.
It was really a bizarre game, the last game they had. It was a game totally dominated by the Eagles as far as time of possession, rushing yards, all those sorts of things. But Eli hit 4 big plays in the passing game, and that was that.
It was a coming out party for Victor Cruz, who caught 3 balls that day and his first 2 touchdowns. DJ Ware is the back. Play fake to him. And Manning under pressure, and down he goes for the sack. We got Jaquay Parker in there, knocking him to the turf. And it will be a loss of 4, second down and 14.
Yeah, both ends really got there. Darryl Tapp on the left side is going to force him to step up. And then Jaquay Parker coming from the other side is going to go back underneath, and there sits Eli. So that is the game. This wide 9, they are known for being able to get pressure on the quarterback. They got it there.
First sack of the year for Jaquay Parker, and DJ Ware up to the 22-yard line, and it will be 3rd down and long for the Giants.
You know, it's so strange for me to watch the Giants football team and their inability to run the ball this year. They've only had 2 runs of 20 yards or more, and both of those by Ahmad Bradshaw, and he's sitting this game out. So their big plays have all come in the passing game and averaging about 3.5 yards per carry. And if Tom Coughlin has a trademark, it has been his ability to play power football. Not this year.
Even a little less than that. 3.3 is the team average. Eagles are about double that. 3rd and 11, and the pass is incomplete, and the crowd wants a flag and won't get it. That's the first time they target Hakeem Nicks. He's covered by Asamoah. 4th down.
You know, it's interesting, when we were talking to Eli, he was saying that he was going to work more of the back shoulder kind of stuff to Hakeem Nicks and more of the go routes to Manningham, and yet so far in this game it's been exactly the opposite. I don't think you're going to get interference there. A little arm grab, but ball probably wasn't catchable anyway.
Weatherford with boots of 61 and 59, and now Jackson is back, and this is a low line drive, and Jackson will have a chance to run it back from the 21-yard line. Coming to the near side, and no room there, and out he goes at the 29, and that will take us to the 2nd quarter. Played 1 at the Meadowlands. Philadelphia nothing, and the Giants nothing. And NBC's Sunday Night Football resumes after these messages.
Let's get back to the game.
Collinsworth, Michelle Tafoya, MetLife Stadium, East Rutherford, New Jersey, no score. Eagles start this drive with an errant pass intended for Cooper. Ross covering on the play. Beautiful shot of the Empire State Building on a sparkling Sunday night. Tonight's aerial coverage is being brought to you by Geico.
Tell you what, the aerial coverage has been by both defenses so far as well. Right now, they are simply going to take away LaShawn McCoy. They're rocking those safeties down, daring Vince Young to throw the ball, and so far he's not been able to answer the bell.
They got McCoy and Ronnie Brown both in the backfield, and they give it to McCoy, and he can't get out of the backfield. And that's Mark Hertzlick, the rookie linebacker, making the tackle.
Well, let's take a look at the motion of Vince Young. He really kind of babied that first one, a little concrete elbow maybe, but you can see he's not really firing the ball, almost like a pitcher trying to aim it a little bit. I think if I were standing on the sideline with him as a receiver, I would say just cut it loose. Just rip one. It'll loosen you up. You'll feel better.
Andy Reid talking about him last night says, you know, you don't want to mess with his motion this far into his career. It is what it is. Footwork, that's a different story. 3rd and 10 with the ball at the 30-yard line. Great protection. And Young fires this one a little low, but Jackson comes back and holds it in before he goes to the ground. To the 38-yard line on a 3rd and 10, and Deshaun is slow in getting back up.
Well, that was nice that time, working against Corey Webster, who turns him over to the safety in his zone defense. But for Vince Young, that's a good catch by Deshaun Jackson. Here's the key on the outside. Jason Peters one-on-one, really able to handle Osi Umenyiora despite LaShawn McCoy getting in there. I think that was a clean catch, don't you?
Yes, I do.
There you go, Vince Young. Now he's starting to get a little going, but now they're getting thin at wide receiver.
Now you've got Chad Hall lined up as the running back. You have the former Giant Steve Smith in the game. They're going to give it to Hall, and he has room to the outside, and he gets stood up after a gain of about 6 by Justin Tuck.
Well, Justin Tuck has certainly had his fair share of issues this season. He's had neck issues. He's had leg issues. The other day, he sprained his ankle in practice, and he was really down on himself almost. 91, you can see him there. He was so upset. Here's a guy that's always towards the top in sacks and only has 2 on the season, but he's a guy you don't take out of the lineup for any reason.
You're right, very critical of himself. 2nd down and 3. Back to McCoy. Nothing on the left side. To the right he goes. There's Young out in front trying to lay down a block on Phillips. And McCoy is able to pick up the 1st down.
You almost have to play him like a punt returner. Somebody has to be able to contain on the backside. There's nothing there. Now you have to anticipate that he's going to come back. Deion Grant that time simply got too low, allowed him to bounce around, and Vince Young looked like a pulling guard out in front of him. But those are the kind of plays that have made him the 2nd leading rusher in the NFL this year.
Longest rusher of the game for either team, 13 yards. The ball is at the 18-yard line. Hall is back in, flanking Young in the backfield, and they give it to him on an inside handoff. And Hall, who plays a lot of special teams, doesn't carry the ball very much, but takes it to the 14-yard line.
Oh boy, we got a little read option going that time from Vince Young. Oh, there's Deshaun Jackson working on their knee. Hate to see that, but watch this. Just like he ran at Texas, put it in there. If that end crashes or stays outside, he's going to hand it off. I think you're going to see pretty soon. Vince is going to keep that one with Umenyiora coming down, and he'll take off around the edge.
Hall hadn't carried the ball all season until this series. He had 9 rushes last year. McCoy is back in. 2nd down and 6. Young in the pocket, and that one is way out of bounds. The move to Mara covering Riley Cooper. It'll be 3rd down and 6.
Well, Jason Peters, who is one of the most athletic left tackles in the game, is working against Umenyiora on the outside. You can see his ability to move his feet and make plays. Jason Peters, was first love was baseball. He was a pitcher and a shortstop. Can you imagine a guy that size being the shortstop? That's the kind of athlete he is.
Meanwhile, Jackson's going to go back to the locker room. Macklin's already out. Vick, you know, is out. Now they miss Jackson. Steve Smith comes in, the former Giant, and that pass is intended for, I don't know. And it's 4th down. Riley Cooper, who still hasn't caught a ball this season.
Yeah,
it's 4th down.
Riley Cooper, who's getting his first start tonight, thinks he's going to get a back shoulder against Corey Webster, and Vince Young reads it the other way and throws it down the field. But there's a lot of backups on the field right now for the Philadelphia Eagles.
So the first points of the game might come off the foot of Alex Henry, rookie out of Nebraska, 33-yard attempt. Picked him in the 4th round to replace David Akers, who'd been there for a long time, and that kick is good. So a 33-yard field goal, 3.5 into the 2nd quarter, gives Philadelphia a 3-0 lead.
Yeah, points on the board, 3-0 to the Philadelphia Eagles. And while the quarterbacks are taking a little time to warm up, Sean McCoy, ever reliable.
It's unbelievable. I mean, Milford Academy produces great athletes, as I can attest to. And you've got to be able to pass on a running down.
Here we go.
From the 4-yard line, Darrell Scott will bring it back. And gets tackled at the 21-yard line. And let's check in with Michelle.
Al, you saw that Deshaun Jackson walked into the locker room. He is in there for further evaluation on his right knee. Initially, it seemed like maybe he hurt his hand or wrist, but you saw the trainers looking at that right knee closely. We know that the training staff had a conversation with Andy Reid, and that was somewhat lengthy, but all they are telling us is that he's in the locker room for further evaluation on that right knee and is questionable.
All right, thank you, Michelle. And you can see he landed a little bit awkwardly in trying to make that acrobatic catch.
And just bounced, didn't he? He bounced off that right knee.
Right. First down at the 22-yard line. Manning is 1 for his first 7. Rolling, going deep for Nix, who turns around, adjusts, and makes the catch. Blanketed by Samuel with the pass, and then he drops it. Then he couldn't hold on to it. He lost it when he goes to the ground. Nix is looking to the bench as if to tell Coughlin, I want you to challenge that. And Tom, of course, will hear from upstairs whether he will or he won't.
Asante Samuel will give you nightmares on underneath routes, but they feel like they can get deep on him. Big, strong receiver, Hakeem Nicks, get the ball you want up high, but he was unable to bring it down. Samuel got his right hand in there late, and it rolls out. Good call.
Very good call on the field, so there will not be a challenge. Coughlin has heard from the guys upstairs, I wouldn't think.
Timeout, New York.
Instead, a timeout is taken by New York before a second down and 10.
So the much criticized Eagles defense.
A variety of the Giants receivers, and Eli Manning in the meantime is one of his first 8 for 18 yards. And that was caught by Victor Cruz. It's second down and 10 now after the Giants timeout. And there's a second completion, and that's caught over the middle by Scott, close to a first down.
You know, it's interesting hearing Eli talking about Asante Samuel. He said, I am not throwing the ball with intermediate routes to his side anymore. He's crazy. He takes too many chances. You don't know what he's going to do. We do feel like we can get up on him, do some double moves. It's what happened to him in the game last week. He had a pick 6 for a touchdown, but the flip side was he gave up a big one to Larry Fitzgerald when he also took that same kind of chance. So it's really all or nothing when you're talking about Asante Samuel.
And last reception inches shy of the first down. And Jacobs will try to pick up those inches and won't. And that Philly defense, as he continues to struggle, Akeem Jordan is there right in the middle of it. Linebacker coming in and stopping him before he can pick up the first down.
If I'm not mistaken, I think that is the first time all year on a 3rd or 4th and 1 that we've seen this Philadelphia Eagles defense make a stop on a running play. Jordan sneaks through there, and really, I think he surprised Brandon Jacobs. A running back that big should not be taken backwards on a hit by a smaller linebacker.
Is indeed the first time that defense has stopped a 3rd and 1 or a 4th and 1 on a running play. Now Weatherford, good angled kick, and that one will go out of bounds at around the 24-yard line. 9.5 to go in the half. Philadelphia on top, 3-0.
We can get ourselves back to the MetLife Stadium.
On the field tonight, Mark Hertzlich playing linebacker. You go back to Boston College. He was great in 08, ACC Defensive Player of the Year, diagnosed with Ewing sarcoma bone cancer in 09. Chemotherapy, radiation, had a titanium rod inserted in his left leg almost exactly 2 years ago. Came back, played at BC last year, undrafted. Giants picked him up as a free agent in the starting lineup tonight. Deshaun Jackson is back in the game. So after going to the locker room, Jackson is back. Philly starts from the 23-yard line. They give the ball to McCoy, and the Giants have been able to bottle him up tonight. And that's Kiwanuka making the tackle after a very short game.
It's so amazing to talk to Mark Hertzlich and his story. And of course, every cancer patient has a similar story, that every MRI you take, every CT scan, you always fear the worst. He said the initial diagnosis was really the absolute worst. He said, I felt so sorry for myself. And that night, I went back to my room and I said, enough. This is enough. I'm going to start fighting this thing. I'm not going to feel sorry for myself. He changed on the spot.
First day, he said, fear of the unknown. And then went to work on it. Batted in the air. Intercepted at the 50-yard line by Phillips. And the Giants get it on the turnover. Young firing it over the middle and deflected, and Phillips comes away with the pick, intended for Clay Harbor.
Just a great job that time by Aaron Ross. Really baited Vince Young into this throw. He's sitting outside. Harbor breaks in, gets his hands on Harbor's hands, and there it goes. Up in the air. Eli Manning knows all about those kind. That's just a freebie. The old tip drill. The only question is, was Aaron Ross there fractionally early? Yeah, I think the answer would be yes.
Maybe. 2 picks now for Young, who is 5 of 13. Manning back to work. He's 2 out of 9. Where is the running back? Pascal is the fullback. And Ware gets met as he crosses the left side of the Giants offensive line by Jamar Chaney.
Tell you what, I can give you a lot of bad statistics on the part of the Philadelphia Eagles defense, but tonight They've been terrific, and they are growing into this defense. Juan Castillo had a bit of a rough week this week. He believes that work ethic and sticking together always works. The Philadelphia media kind of mocked that a little bit this week. He said, all I want to do is make Andy Reid proud, and as he was telling us that, actually got tears in his eyes. So a guy that's easy to cheer for.
Yeah, he's been the guy really in the crosshairs, trying to get out of the backfield, and here come the Eagles again, and that defense doing a great job as Ware gets taken down first by Cole and then by Roll.
Well, Brian Roll is a rookie on this defense, but more and more we're starting to see him play on the other side of the line of scrimmage. He doesn't sit back. Now, sometimes rookies, you say, oh boy, they're indecisive or whatever the case may be. Akeem Jordan came through, got the first shot, and then here comes Roll sprinting through to get the tackle.
Giants have run 19 plays and have 41 total yards. 3rd and 15. Eagles with that wide 9, and they rush 4. And Manning is going to go down, and a flag goes down at the 43-yard line. So the sack for the moment, you got Babin and Patterson there.
Yeah, and I think there might be a hold on that as well, because Cullen Jenkins got through there.
Offense number 76.
Yes, sir.
Is declined. 4th down.
That's Snee. So a great defensive series. Coughlin talking to himself and the guys upstairs.
Well, Chris Snee is the best of these offensive linemen, but Cullen Jenkins just was too quick for him there, and really Snee had no choice but to hold him and try and protect his quarterback.
Weatherford to punt. Chad Hall. They've been inactive all season, and he's going to let that one roll, and that was not a very good decision, because Vince Young is going to get the ball at the 2-yard line. So Hall lets it roll. It stays in bounds. It's a 54-yard punt, and it's 3-0 Philadelphia.
Yeah, welcome back. Once again, let me remind you that you can get in touch with the show a variety of ways. You can come down here to the studios and shout through the windows, or you can email us NFL@channel4.com. That's NFL@channel4.com, and you can tweet us, which is hashtag C4NFL. Zach Timon might set off a bit of a debate, actually. He says that all the fuss about DeSean Jackson, while explosive at time, he's actually been a big distraction this season for the Eagles, and he wonders, and I wonder what you all think out there as well, whether they'd be better off forgetting about re-signing him and just getting on with their lives.
If he plays the way he's been playing, then I agree with you. You know, if he plays the way he did in a couple of games early in the season or last year, it's a tough thing to do. He's a perfect fit for the kind of offense Andy Reid wants to run. And I was just saying, you know, maybe you ought to get a titanium rod, borrow one from Herzlich, and get it put in his leg, and you know, get back to the old DeSean. Yeah,
DeSean Jackson, if you've got a view on that, send us an email or a tweet. We'd be happy to see what the feeling is about what he's clearly a great player on his day.
Alex Mason asked about all the rookies the Eagles have brought in, and then mentioned Casey Matthews. Now, the first time we saw him, Casey Matthews was starting at middle linebacker. I don't think he has a future as a middle linebacker in the NFL. He's got to be an outside linebacker, and probably just on the strong side. I think they're doing better with the guys they have now.
And Lewis Parkinson on the emails asks if Eli Manning has improved because he's lost players like Isaac Boss and Smith. Has he actually stepped up because of the loss of those players?
That's an interesting question. And again, I think he's suffered a lot of criticism, and as soon as we big him up, he comes out and he's not looking, you know, all that sharp today. Although in fairness, the balls are there. It's not that he's throwing them all that badly. Apart from the interception.
He's still got plenty of game to come back and do his thing.
It's just really hard to go deep against the coverage that the Eagles have.
Let's get back.
Eagles backed up, and from the 2, Young is going to try to throw his way into some breathing space, and there is Jackson making the catch. Spins away from Webster before he's forced out of bounds. So from the 2-yard line, there's a flag down. And Mike Carey.
Illegal hands to the face. Defense number 97 is declined. First down.
Linval Joseph, 50 yards. When Jackson went back to the locker room, they were evaluating him for a concussion. Obviously, he passed the test. Back he comes, and a 50-yard gain.
This is the matchup. Corey Webster's the best the Giants have. And look at DeSean Jackson just glide past him. Vince Young learned from that first one, didn't he? Got the ball out of his hands much quicker this time, and Corey Webster, the ball was still underthrown a bit, but Webster really just completely mistimed his jump, and that's a quick way to get out of the hole if you're Vince Young.
There were 2 fouls on the play. Illegal hands to the face on the defense number 97 and taunting by the offense number 10. Those fouls offset.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, unbelievable. Just cost himself 50 yards.
Yeah, how happy is the New York Giant crowd as they now taunt Jackson as he walks back. There you go. You flip it to somebody on the sideline and, yeah, walk it back. That's ridiculous.
That is ridiculous.
You know, it's just...
Right to... Well, on the Giants sideline.
You know, you want to get paid. You want to get the big bucks. You want to get treated like a superstar. You can't do stupid stuff. That was stupid.
Very. So back they go to the 2. 1st and 10.
And then Jackson runs into the official going to his spot out there. Remember that play. That play may well decide this game. Out of the hole, off your own goal line, your defense is playing their guts out, and you give one away.
And if it decides the game in the Giants' favor eventually, it ends any realistic Philadelphia playoff hope. From the 2. Apart from that, nothing really happened there. To the 3-yard line. McCoy, 2nd down and 7.
Well, at the end of this play, there you go, Coach. Larry Fuel over there, the defensive coordinator, say, yeah, look what I did to you. And then the guys in the striped shirt said, look what I'm about to do to you. I know he's fired up. I understand all that. He got benched last week. You cannot be immature in the National Football League and get paid and get treated like a superstar that he wants to be.
2nd and 7. And a big hole through the middle for McCoy. It's a ghost motion from the right side, and McCoy gives them the breathing space they need and a 1st down with 5.5 to the half after a gain of 13.
That's exactly right. The ghost motion. I'm impressed with you. They bring the wide receiver back around and fake the reverse, and what it does is it holds Osi Umenyiora to set up the block, the trap coming over. I think that was the tight end trap coming over Clay Harbor, but you could see Umenyiora snuck a peek out there at Deshaun Jackson, and that set up the trap.
Should I work with you? No problem. 1st and 10, the ball is at the 17. Flag. Movement along the line before the snap over the 19-yard line. Like the Giants may have jumped. Mike Carey, and Giants fans will forever love Mike Carey.
Offside. Defense number 97. 5-yard penalty. Still 1st down.
Linval Joseph. It was Mike Carey. There's Perry Fuel. Mike Carey was the referee in the Super Bowl between the Giants and New England. Came within a millisecond of blowing the whistle on what could have been in the grasp and control. Instead, he let the play go with Manning. Next thing you know, it's off Tyree's helmet. Next thing you know, it's Plaxico Burress in the end zone. Next thing you know, the Giants have the Lombardi Trophy.
But other than that,
nothing happened, right? 1st and 5, the ball at the 22. And there's Canty right there as McCoy takes the handoff.
That's just a bad run by LeSean McCoy. They've got the trap working again, going to kick out here, and he runs this way. You got to trust the blocking. They get the double team on the edge. He's got to follow that way over there. He ran to darkness on that one.
.111 for Philadelphia. Should have been 50 more, except for the taunting. The Giants held to 34 yards, 2nd down and 7. And Young over the middle, and it's caught by Selleck, and the tight end gets free. And it's a 1st down. He's covered there by Deion Grant as we tick down under 4 minutes to the half.
Well, the one thing Mark Hertzlich doesn't do well is play pass defense. They're in there for run plays. This time he's in pass defense, and that's a mismatch. They want to get some of the other linebackers in there to play the pass. Daquan Williams is their best pass defending linebacker. Spencer Paysinger's okay. That time Herzog got exposed.
From the 37, here's Young. Throws a screen into traffic for a very short gain. Young making the start. Mike Vick. Last week, a rib injury. There's some question as to exactly when it happened. Eagles were saying, well, it didn't necessarily happen on the second play of the game, but it was very clear when we took a look at last week's game that Michael was reaching for his ribs. Second play of the game against Arizona. Had a terrible day. Cardinals win it, and they have to see if Vick can play next week when they have New England coming into Philadelphia on Sunday. 2nd and 11. Young, and Cooper can't make that catch. He's targeted Cooper a number of times tonight and has yet to connect with him. And here we go, Chris. Here's the second play of last week's game against Arizona.
Well, you take a look and listen.
Small grunt, and he reaches for the ribs.
As a guy that has cracked his ribs 3 or 4 different times, that's what it looks like. And that's what you do. You put your hand on the spot and go, it's going to be a long game from the second play.
Reed said never complained, and he left them in all the way. 3rd and 11. And Young fires over the middle, and that's one hop, and that's Webster. And Webster may have picked it up before it hit the ground. And Corey Webster, for the moment, is going to have a pick on a pass intended for DeSean Jackson.
Well, I'm sure Vince Young thought DeSean Jackson was going to come back to the ball, and instead, that ball hit the ground. Instead, it was Corey Webster that did. I thought the point of the ball hit the ground. See Jackson sit, and if anything, back up. And meanwhile, Corey Webster closes in on it. Let's see. The tip of this ball hit the ground.
Well, the Giants want to get out there right away and run a play, and Andy Reid said not so fast. He throws the challenge flag here.
Yeah, I think that one's incomplete. There's a future football star right there watching tonight.
Manning now on first down from the 13, giving it to Jacobs. So Manning is 2 of 9 for 27 yards in the half. That Eagle defense has been brilliant, and the Giants have been unable to run the ball as well.
You know, when you're playing against the Philadelphia Eagles, you think those defensive linemen are going to come charging up the field, and so the trap seems like such a natural play to try and use against them. But so far the Eagles have figured it out.
2-minute warning. 3-0 Philadelphia.
Back to our game.
Green Bay Packers. It's 2nd down and 8. With 2 minutes to go, and Manning throws, and that pass is incomplete at the 20-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and 8 intended for Hakeem Nicks.
Well, Trent Cole, who we talked to him the other day, he said, I just take a straight line. I pretend like Will Beatty is not there. On the other side, same deal. You've got Jason Babin going against McKenzie. They both tried to go underneath and around, and we have a big down right here, Al, because of the clock situation. Eagles with a chance to get it back.
Right. Manning took a pretty good shot that time and forced out to his left, and he just throws it away. And so the Eagles will get the ball back. 1:49 on the clock, and they have all of their timeouts, and Cullen Jenkins forced that issue, and the Boo Birds are out here.
Good coverage as the Philadelphia Eagles really have, with some of these zone defenses, sort of taken the Giants out of their offense. I mean, this is by far the best I've seen the Eagles play so far, and it's the pressure against Eli Manning that's making him not allowing those routes to develop.
Weatherford to punt. DeSean Jackson is back to receive the kick.
It's about the same spot.
Yeah, good chance for a run back again from the 35, going across the field, getting blocking. DeSean Jackson down the sideline, gets by the punter and steps out of bounds. He just did step out of bounds at about the 20-yard line. They're going to mark it off, and Coughlin might as well be apoplectic at this point.
Well, why did they kick it to him? You know, I mean, that was about the same spot you lost the game last year. DeSean Jackson may have messed up that other play, but you give him this much space. That's a really good block right there. I think it was Jaquan Jarrett who did not block.
And for the, well,
right there.
Yeah, right there. He steps
step.
out of bounds. Yeah. Of course, inside 2 minutes, there are no challenges. Just review it upstairs, and they got it right. The ball is at the 14.
Couldn't really see it there because you were blocked by.
But the other thing was fairly conclusive.
Oh boy, did he? I'm not so sure. Inside of 2 minutes.
Would have to be stopped from upstairs, and they don't stop it.
Interesting.
50-yard punt, 51-yard return, and now Young will try to make it pay off, and the pass is caught by Steve Smith, and the former Giant goes in for a touchdown. Smith, who couldn't come to contract terms after cashing over 100 balls 2 years ago, signs with Philadelphia, and after they punt to Jackson and he steps out of bounds, they hit Smith for the touchdown, and the Eagles are on their way to going up 10-0. First touchdown reception of the season.
And Tom Coughlin was not happy when Steve Smith got out of here. He got paid big money by the Eagles, and boy, the payoff there.
His first touchdown grab of the year. The crowd is stunned and silent. And with 1:22 to the half, the Philadelphia Eagles lead 10-0.
Keep an eye on Mathias Kiwanuka here as Steve Smith comes across. The Giants, and especially Kiwanuka, very inexperienced, very green in pass defense, and they're taking advantage of it. You could see the indecision by the defensive backs, and they end up allowing Steve Smith to run across the field, but that has to be Kiwanuka's play. Last week it was Greg Jones who blew a coverage that cost him a touchdown against the 49ers, and this one I think is going to be on Kiwanuka.
Beautifully designed play. Marty Mornhinweg, the offensive coordinator. There's Peters doing his job on the left side. All smiles on the Eagles sideline.
Oh, and for Steve Smith, how nice is that? He admitted it was a little weird last time he was out here playing against his old team, and Aaron Ross, who was his dear friend and plays in the secondaries. Steve went up to him and said, "What's up?" And he said, "I got to kick your butt today, buddy." And today it was Steve Smith returning the favor.
Henry's kickoff. Scott takes a knee in the end zone, and Eli will come out to the 20-yard line. Steve Smith played his college ball at USC. 107 receptions, Giants single season record in 09. First Giants receiver in almost 4 decades to make the Pro Bowl. That's how important he was to the team.
And how about the fact that he got that pass from Vince Young, who beat him in the national championship game when Vince Young, in that brilliant game of his when he was playing for Texas, Steve Smith was on the other side.
USC against Texas for the national championship in the Rose Bowl. The pass is caught by Cruz, and Cruz gets it out to the 42-yard line. That's a 22-yard gain.
Just cannot say enough about the job that Victor Cruz has done learning the slot position. Without question, the hardest of these receiver positions, and he's been masterful this year.
1 minute remaining. 2 timeouts for the Giants, and that is then dropped by Ballard, who dropped an easy one early in the first quarter. Can't hold this one. 2nd down and 10.
2 absolutely perfect throws by Eli, and Ballard has dropped them both. 2 huge plays in the game, and a big reason why this offense has been stuck in first gear, and he has been making these plays time after time. He made a catch just like that against the Patriots that really ended up helping win that game.
They can barely get out of park. It's 2nd down and 10, and that's caught on the outside by Manningham. He'll get out of bounds to conserve a timeout. The Giants have had 7 possessions tonight. This is the 8th. They've had 6 punts and an interception.
This has been when Eli Manning has been at his best so far this season. It has been the huge difference. Obviously, the turnovers cut way down, but in the 2-minute offense, Eli has been almost perfect this season.
3rd and 6. Double slot to the right. Manning looking that way, throws. Cruz makes the catch. Forward progress nets him the first down. Clock keeps running. Now Eli says, well, I'll take a timeout right here. 40 seconds.
Yeah, and that's the matchup tonight. Cruz going against Joselio Hansen, who's in there because of the injury to Dominic Rodgers-Cromartie. And we knew this was going to be a key one. There were a lot of people on the Giants that actually thinks that Joselio Hansen is a much better slot corner than was Dominic Rodgers-Cromartie. They were sorry to see Cromartie get hurt because of the experience that Hansen has in there, but Hansen slipped on that one, and they were able to get it in there.
Put 2 seconds back on the clock. Eli got the timeout at 42. 4-man rush. Sliding away. Caught on the outside. DJ Ware. He takes it to the 40. That's a gain of 7. 2nd down and 3. Allen making the tackle. Eli trying to hustle him up to the line and conserve that last timeout. They're taking a lot of time here. 2nd down and 3. And Manning under pressure. Hit as he throws, and then it's dropped by Cruz with 15 seconds.
Good pressure on the outside by Darryl Tapp, but that is the 3rd easy catch we've seen these Giants receivers drop tonight. And when you talk to Kevin Gilbride about Victor Cruz, he'll tell you he giveth and he taketh away almost every game. As you see him look away from the ball, didn't look it in at all. Almost every game he makes great plays, and he makes plays like that.
3rd and 3. Trying to at least get into field goal range. And Manning has to shovel it. And it's Ware who makes the catch. And then Ware gets buried at the 29-yard line. Knocked to the ground by Jenkins. The clock stops at 5 and a timeout. The Giants last. What a shot.
What a great hustle play by Cullen Jenkins. He was 10 yards in the backfield on this one. He's going to come get pushed all the way by Eli Manning, and then is going to sprint back down the field and ended up making one of the big hits of the night. I mean, you just don't see defensive tackles hustling like that. That's awesome. Right underneath the helmet, right underneath the chin. Obviously not a defenseless player, so perfectly legal. Helmet to helmet, all that stuff doesn't come into play with a runner.
And Ware is still down. The Giants took the timeout there last. They send the field goal group in. And Ware will be assisted to the sideline. Meanwhile, Tynes, who hasn't kicked a field goal longer than 30 this season, the 2 he's tried longer than 30 have both been blocked, will now try to make it a 1-possession game. Weatherford will hold it. They'll spot the ball at the 38, so a 48-yard field goal attempt to try to make it 10-3. And Tynes' kick is good. So the Giants at the gun get to within 7, but it's 10-3. Philadelphia at the half with the Toyota halftime show coming up on the other side of this from your local NBC station.
Any human beings, I've got to be honest.
No, that's true. I have him.
It should be a great second half. Let's get back to East Rutherford.
Scott is going to take it from the goal line. And another pop to the 22-yard line, and we check in with Michelle.
Al just spoke with Tom Coughlin. He is not pleased with the play of his offensive line. He said, we are just not blocking anyone. And then I asked him about Eli Manning, and he said, someone has got to make a play for him. What do we have, 4 drop balls? Someone's got to make a play. As for Andy Reid, he's pretty pleased with the way that Vince Young is playing. Says he shook off some rust early, but he's done some good things. He keeps getting better drive to drive.
All right, thank you, Michelle. And Manning, shades of last year, had a lot of picks off deflections and a number of drop passes. 7 for 18. Here is Booth now in the game at right guard for Snee. And you have Scott on first down, taking the ball out to the 25-yard line.
Yeah, not sure exactly what happened there, but that is significant because Chris Snee, not only is he probably their best offensive lineman, he's also the guy that pulls and leads on some of their power plays that they really love to run. And I'm just not sure that Kevin Booth would be the same guy on that kind of action.
Coughlin, as Michelle said, already very displeased with the play of that line. Here is Jacobs, and Jacobs bangs into his own man. Deal. It'll be third down at about 4.
Eagles' run defense has just been simply awesome so far in this ball game. Talk about those wide 9 ends, but they have been squeezing it down. The Giants knew they had to have success running between the tackles in this one, and so far they have not. In the first half, 10 rushes for 19 yards. We talked about the Giants' problems running the ball. I didn't think it would be quite that bad.
4.8, the opposition averaging through week 10 and 2.1 tonight. Scott is the back. Who's first? Mike Carey.
Offside, defense number 58. 5-yard penalty. That enforcement results in a first down.
Was a 3rd and 4, and Trent Cole came across first.
Trent Cole really should not be listening. You can see his head looking in at the ball, but Eli gave him the hard count and got him. He was pointing at the back. Darrell Scott, who flinched a little, but I think he flinched after Trent Cole flinched. Look at these guys coming up there. It's scary.
Looks like they're running the 100 in the Olympics. And that pass is incomplete. The crowd wants a flag, and they do get one because Nix was being held by Asamoah.
You know, if you just tug the jersey, it is automatic. I don't know if that's what happened.
Holding defense number 24. 5-yard penalty, automatic. First down.
Let's take a look here. I think right there was a little tug of the back of the jersey with his right hand. And remember, there is an official assigned to every eligible receiver. So even though you think you're not in always being viewed by the official, you are.
Man, that's a great stop at the line of scrimmage right there. That's Mike Patterson for the U.S. He had a seizure in training camp. Very scary. It looked like a life-threatening situation when it happened. But they checked him out and was ready for opening day.
Watch the patience as the play looks like it's going away, but he stays backside, and McKenzie just can't drive him out of there. That has been a big difference tonight that I've seen with this Eagles defense. They're just playing their gap so much better than what they were early in the year.
Rotating along that defensive front, 2nd down and 11, and that is Jacobs, and he gets hit as he makes the catch. Meanwhile, let's find out more about Snee. Here's Michelle again.
Yeah, Chris Snee remains in the locker room getting an IV. I'm told he should return. He's expected to come back into this game as soon as that's over with. Meanwhile, DJ Ware, who we saw get up slowly at the end of the first half, he is out of the game with a concussion now.
And the Giants, of course, are already minus Ahmad Bradshaw, so he's out. And that's why you're seeing a lot of Darrell Scott. He's the only guy behind Jacobs right now. 3rd down and 11. Eli throwing. Nix makes the catch. Gets away from Clayton for the moment, and then it's taken down well short of down. And in comes the punting group again.
Yeah, that was a pretty nice play by Joselio Hansen there. This Akeem Nix is a load to get on the ground. And these Eagles corners aren't known as the best tacklers, so it came down to Joselio Hansen and kind of did a little calf roping on that one.
Weatherford averaging 54.3. And you got Jackson back there again. And this time the punt is angled toward the sideline. And of course the Giant crowd lets out a big cheer, in effect saying thank you very much. 10-3 Philadelphia. As we barely mentioned Umenyiura's name tonight. Ball is at the 10 as they begin this drive, and Young stepping up, little flip, and finally Cooper makes a catch. He's been targeted about a half dozen times, and he's out to the 33-yard line.
If I'm not mistaken, I think that is Riley Cooper's first catch of the season.
Correct.
Of course, Steve Smith taking a lot of that. This time Umenyiura thought he was going to get there against Jason Peters, but Vince Young did a nice job stepping up and through, avoided Tuck as well. Tell you, Vince is starting to get a little bit comfortable out there, isn't he?
Making his first start in the year since he started for Tennessee against Washington. A little faded day for him. Went on injured reserve after that, and they said don't even show up for any more meetings.
You know, he really is one of those guys. His numbers are so up and down. You can, I guess, depend on how you want to look at it. Is it good? Is it bad? He has more interceptions in his career than he has touchdowns. But you know, he's one of the leaders all time as far as fourth quarter comebacks. So when the game's on the line, he's been very successful. Different style of quarterback.
Giants know that from a few years ago. Kiwanuka had a chance to sack him and didn't, and then Young leads the charge and they beat him. You know, for Young, it's an interesting case. I mean, he's free after the season. Jeff Fisher leaves Tennessee. Mike Munchak comes in, but they wanted to go in a different direction. And then instead of looking around for a chance to start somewhere, he almost in effect needed, we talked to him last night, he almost needed a reputation makeover. And he felt the right guy to go to would be Andy Reid. He knew he'd be behind Vic, but Reid was the guy who could maybe get him straight.
And he talked about how much he's learned from Reid and Marty Mornhinweg here.
3rd down and 5. And Young gets taken down, so runs out of time, and Pierre Paul winds up knocking him down behind the line of scrimmage.
Well, we've been talking about it. That time the protection was good. Osi Umenyiura on the outside, but Jason Peters just completely held his ground. On the other side, you've got Tuck working in there against the rookie Danny Watkins, and eventually he's going to kind of fall into one. Pretty good protection, just nobody open down the field.
Here's Henry's kick. It's a short kick that bounces at the 29-yard line.
That ball's free.
Yes, it is.
The punt returner, at the moment that thing was punched down the field, could have picked it up and done no worse than where it was touched.
8:44 remaining in the 3rd quarter. 7-point Eagle lead. In line with 8:44 remaining in the 3rd quarter. Starts with play action. Under pressure, that ball may have been tipped and it's incomplete. Parker racing in, had an earlier sack and got a hand on it to deflect it. 2nd down.
I tell you, the backup. Now these two guys out here are really getting the job done tonight for the Philadelphia Eagles. They go 4 deep with really talented players, and that time Jaquay Parker able to get there. And it's not that Eli is not getting anybody open. He just doesn't have time to sit there and hold it. This is what this Eagles defense was supposed to do. Get after the quarterback.
2nd and 10. They run a draw, and they're playing the run brilliantly tonight. Jacobs tackled by Laws.
Yeah. Really, these tackles on this one end up making the play. They're just getting up the field. There's Law and there's Landry, and those guys are just dominating inside, which is allowing those outside pass rushers to feel free. And believe me, they're going to be ripping on this one coming inside.
Giants no running game at all tonight. 14 rushes, 23 yards. 3rd and 11. Manning rolling away to buy time and then throws. There is a flag down in the offensive backfield. Cruz makes the catch. For the moment, a little short of the 1st down. And here comes the call from Mike Carey in a moment.
Yeah, it looked like Kareem McKenzie working against Trent Cole. And I mean, he just doing everything he can. It's like punching him and holding him.
There's no foul on the play. All of the action was legal. Fourth down.
Somebody tell Trent Cole that.
Yeah, pick it up, and here comes the Giants' 8th punt in 2.5 quarters.
I tell you, it went unnoticed, but Keenan Clayton made a nice open field tackle and pulled the receiver back away from that first down line there.
Got him a yard short. Hall is back to receive the punt this time. It's a wobbly kick, and Hall makes a fair catch at the 27-yard line. 7.5 left in the third. 10-3. Philly.
Yeah,
it's just the golden goal. That's all.
Wow.
From the 26-yard line on first down, Young, a little dump off caught by Jackson. A little head fake, and then Ross sends him out of bounds after a gain of 9.
Well, we've talked about him before, but Howard Mudd coming over just has done such a remarkable job with this group up front. And think of all the changes that have taken place on this Eagles offensive line. Couple of rookies starting at center, Jason Kelce, Danny Watkins, Evan Mathis, a free agent. You take Todd Hermans from left guard to right tackle. Just so much different. And of course, no offseason to get it working, but somehow or another, Howard Mudd has found a way to make it work.
Several years in Indianapolis, played long ago for the 49ers, talked out of retirement by Andy Reid. And that pass is caught by Cooper with a flag being thrown. Cooper and Ross battling for position. So Riley, after making his first catch of the season on the last drive, catches this one, at least for the moment, for 19.
Interesting call here. There was a lot going on.
Defense number 31 is declined. The play results in a first down.
Aaron Ross, I thought, was holding early, and then watch Riley Cooper late. There you go. He's going to grab him right there. Easy to see, no question. And be seeing it again. But then Riley Cooper is going to give him the old stiff arm coming back. So it was, but I think that's the right call. Again, the jersey pull. You know, guys, defenders are so used to being able to cheat a little bit, but that has really been a point of emphasis as far as the holding is called. It made the difference there.
And Philly takes a timeout with 6.5 left in the quarter. After a Philly timeout, first down, 46-yard line. Good play fake, and then wide open is Jackson. To the 18 he goes, sprinting across the field. Phillips and Ross make the stop at the end.
Well, a lot of these linebackers now are chasing these crossing routes, and what's happening, instead of just dropping into their zone, they're leaving that hole wide open back there. So as a young linebacker, eventually you learn, okay, I don't care if that guy goes across there in the flat. There's somebody there. I've got to cover that deep zone and take away Deshaun Jackson.
Gain of 29. Jackson 4 catches tonight for 77. Had the taunting penalty to cost him a 50-yarder. Lewis and Brown are in the backfield, and they hand it off to Dion Lewis, who's been running back kicks this year, used sparingly as a backup running back. Gain of 1.
Again, I think that was a case where the running back went to the wrong hole. They end up pulling Evan Mathis around, and you can see where they're trying to get the ball in here, and instead you get Dion Lewis cutting to where there really is no blocking. There was a pretty good hole on the outside there. These backs just have to stay on it.
There's Michael Boley, the Giants missing their linebacker. The guy would have the speaker in his helmet as well. So the young linebackers in tonight. Second down and 9. And Young for Cooper, and it's picked off in the end zone. Aaron Ross, Young's teammate at the University of Texas, picks off Vince, and there goes that drive. Big takeaway for the New York Giants.
Jumper on a rusty nail.
That was Paul Searle.
Yeah, very good. Let's get back to the game.
Right guard. They start this drive with Jacobs plowing ahead to the 25, and back we go to the Ross pick.
Yeah, Aaron Ross now 4 interceptions, a career high for him. 3 of those against the Philadelphia Eagles, and Riley Cooper looked like that maybe didn't think it was going to come, and then sort of stumbled at the tail end of it, and Ross did a nice job. He bobbles this ball, but does get both feet down with possession. It was close, but we took a good look at it, and it was a clean interception.
2nd down and 6. Jacobs, nothing. Ross is an equal opportunity interceptor. He's picked off each of the Philadelphia quarterbacks this year. Vick, Kafka, and now Young, and the crowd hates that play call. 3rd down. That's the 8th turnover for Philadelphia in the red zone this season.
Yeah, really the red zone's been a disaster for Andy Reid's team. They ranked last as far as allowing touchdowns, 69%, and then the 8th turnover in the red zone. That's how you end up 3-6, and it may end up being a big part of this one as well.
Their season on life support, as it will be the rest of the year, even with a victory. And that is caught for a 1st down by Ramses Barden. So it's the first time he has been targeted tonight. And he picks up a 1st down off a 3rd and 6.
Well, welcome back Chris Snee in here. They run a little stunt inside, and Snee is not fooled. Sits there. That's the best protection Eli's had all night, and he took advantage of it. Trent Cole on the outside. Good job by Beatty as well. Absolutely perfectly done.
A little over 3 to go in the quarter. Manning, good time again. To the outside he goes, and that's incomplete. And Ballard couldn't hold that one because the coverage was very good on the outside. Jamar Chaney right there with him, might have gotten his hand on the ball. 2nd down.
You know, I give Jamar Chaney a lot of credit for this season. It was a disaster at middle linebacker. Casey Matthews just wasn't ready. And so they moved Jamar Chaney, who's really a strong side linebacker, to the outside. He leads the team in tackles. He makes plays in pass defense like that and does not get enough credit.
2nd and 10. Four-man rush, good protection. That's knocked down at the line of scrimmage. The defensive line doing its job. And it will be 3rd down.
Let's take a look here, right in here, and see.
I think it was Landry.
Does Chris Snee end up getting away with a little hold? Maybe. That was
Derek
exactly
Landry,
right.
yeah.
Derek Landry, who ends up getting his hands up, making the play. And so far defensively, this Eagles team has come up with all the right answers. A chance to get off the field again.
3rd down and 10. Rushing 4 again to the outside. That's caught. And Jacobs out to the 45-yard line, but he is going to be, when they put it down, I think a little bit short of the 1st down.
Yeah,
he will be.
Yeah, you have no choice there. Brandon Jacobs, give him credit. Boy, he lowered that shoulder on his 260-pound body. But in a game like this, and that's Asante Samuel, who's not exactly known as the top tackling corner in the game. He did his best, though. At least he slowed him down a little bit.
So Weatherford comes out for his 9th punt, and Deshaun Jackson sets up at the 10-yard line. What's he going to do with this one? Weatherford angling this one again. And that's a beauty. Going out of bounds near the 5-yard line. Find a little fracas, they break it up immediately.
A little NFC East. Speaking of fracas there, Al, how about some of the hits we've seen tonight? Cullen Jenkins with a huge shot and a great hustle play. All the way up and down, these defensive lines have really dominated the game. We came in knowing that these defensive lines were good. Tonight, they have been simply great. It has been just fun to watch these guys play defense tonight. And now the Giants defense with an opportunity with the Eagles backed up again.
So Ross being worked on the sideline before, but he is back in as Philadelphia starts the drive with McCoy, who has not gotten on track tonight. Dion Grant making the tackle, and the Giants have limited McCoy to 43 yards on 14 totes.
Yeah, and it has been like this all night long. They are containing off the backside, and every time McCoy wants to cut it back, he's cutting it right back into Dion Grant, who's been patient. He got burned on one of those, but you could see much more patient on that one.
Young on 2nd and 8. To the outside he goes. That's Jackson. He can go next to nowhere because Webster is right there to push him out of bounds at the 8-yard line.
Well, that time OCU Manura with a little wide 9 of his own coming in here. Jacks up Jason Peters a little bit, but because of the great feet that Peters has, able to regain control and win the battle yet again.
Minute and a half left in the quarter. Giants with a 3rd down stop will probably wind up with pretty good field position. 6 DBs in.
And all defensive ends. Look out.
Young stepping up, throws, and that is caught by Selleck. First down to the 20-yard line. Big first down.
How good was that by Vince Young? Under pressure on the outside by Jason Pierre-Paul, who got the edge on Harriman on the outside, coming around here. Vince is going to make a miss, step up, keep his eyes down the field. Fantastic. That was a clutch football play by a veteran quarterback. Did not look down, did not try and run the ball. Major difference in his game.
Almost in a way an audition for Young tonight. I mean, for the future. Yeah. He signs a 1-year deal. I want to step into the huddle with confidence. It's an opportunity to show what I can do, he said last night. And that's caught on the outside by Riley Cooper.
You know what's interesting, Al, is that he's having success with all the guys that he plays with on the scout team. You can see the numbers there for Vince Young. But it has been the guys, Riley Cooper, Steve Smith. He throws a lot with Brent Selleck after practice, and that comfort zone is exactly where he's found success.
We asked him how many reps he took until this week. He said none. End of 3. Philly 10, the Giants 3. And Sunday Night Football continues after these messages.
New York 2. Let's get back to the game.
From the 27, as we begin the 4th, Philadelphia with McCoy getting wrestled down by Hertzlick. So we go to the 4th quarter, which has been a huge difference with these two teams. Andy Reid, his team's 5 losses after leading in the 4th through 10 weeks. Tom Coughlin 4 wins after trailing in the 4th, including at Philadelphia week 3. So the Giants coming from behind several times this year, and the Eagles on the wrong side of history.
9th time in 10 games they've led going into the 4th quarter. Can they hold it?
3rd down and 3. Can they close them out? Can they, hopefully, for them, save this season? And the pass is caught at the 30-yard line. And where are they going to spot it? Because Williams takes care of Selleck and appears to be a little bit short. And Mike Carey looks over and signals it is a 4th down. 4th and 1.
There we go. Right here is Selleck. And I'll tell you, this is a big-time hit by the rookie, Jaquan Williams. He had to drive him backwards, and he got it done. On the last play on 2nd down, it was Mark Hertzlick who came up and made the play. So these rookie linebackers really have done the job tonight for the New York Giants. You can't complain too much about what they've done.
Big stop. Victor Cruz is back to return the kick. Chaz Henry, rookie punter out of Florida. It's a high floater. Fair catch called for by Cruz at the 27-yard line.
Well, now it's time for Jason Babin and Trent Cole. They're 2 hunters on the outside. Look at them looking in. All they're doing is looking at the ball and exploding off the line of scrimmage. Their plan is to run directly through the tackles, and it is pass rush time now for the Philadelphia Eagles. They are built for this. They are built to protect the lead. They are built to go get the quarterback. They've been doing it all night, and now it's their time.
Wide 9, meaning the 9 gap defensively. Coming from the outside. Sprinter stance for both of them. Great night thus far for the Eagle defense. And the Giants getting nothing done on the ground at the 29-yard line. Crowd frustrated. Brian Roll making the tackle.
Tell you what, that young rookie stepped up, hasn't he? He got put in the game in a tough situation. Everybody was complaining about this defense. and he plays downhill. He comes screaming towards the line of scrimmage and makes some big hits.
Giants will go no huddle, trying to change it up, get something out of the offense. And Manning throws, and that one's nearly intercepted. Ballard holding his arm. Ballard, the intended receiver, and he's shaken, holding his right arm.
I think he slipped on the play, and then he tried to right himself, put his elbow or put his hand down on the ground. Let's see if he doesn't just slips there, puts his right arm down, and almost led to an interception. So this has been one of those nights, as they say, for Jake Ballard. A couple of drops, and then without getting hit, hurts his elbow.
One of the big heroes 2 weeks ago against New England, game-winning touchdown reception with 15 ticks left. 3rd down and 8 now. And Manning is flushed out, directing traffic. Going deep downfield, and it's taken in at the 24-yard line by Nix. Nix, with a play kept alive, was able to get a free spot. Allen back there. Allen lost him. Big first down for the Giants.
Tell you what, a great job by Eli Manning on this one. A possible hold on the outside. Beatty got Trick Cole's arm hooked. The official took a good long look at it, decided not to throw the flag. Take a look. Beatty right there kind of hooks his arm, and everybody looked at the official at the same time. I did too. They let it go.
As did Cole. The ball to the 24-yard line. Gain of 47 on the play. And Manning with the protection breaking down. That one is too high, intended for Jacobs. It'll be 2nd down and 10. Eli, in the 4th quarter this season, the Giants with all of those comebacks, 5 game-winning drives, most in the league. And 2nd in passer rating in the 4th.
Tell you, Eli is hanging in there tonight. You know, this is a rough one. You play against this bunch and you're playing from behind, you're going to take some shots. He's just going to have to hang in there and keep his focus down the field. It's not easy.
2nd and 10. Sliding left. Throwing for the end zone. Caught. Cruz. Touchdown.
There's the salsa dance. You can't play quarterback better than Eli Manning did on that drive. 2 absolutely brilliant plays. And the old giant killer on the outside. Victor Cruz is going to beat the multi-million-dollar cornerback again. He got him in the last game, and Victor Cruz, after 2 in that game, comes back and beats up the Eagles again. Nnamdi Asomugha just got lost. Just completely lost Victor Cruz.
Times to try to tie the game, and he does as the Giants go 73 yards in 5 plays, 4 passes, a 24-yard touchdown, and the Giants and the Eagles are locked at 10.
It's breakdown time for Eli. Put the game in his hands. For the Eagles, now big play up. They have big play capability too. Their offense has to step up.
Furthermore, they also knew, of course, they could have had this game put away, Philadelphia.
Well, I think you're absolutely right.
Became a sudden star, and now he's a real star this year. Dion Lewis downs that one in the end zone, and back we go to the 6.
Check out Eli Manning with the point here. He's going to tell Victor Cruz, yeah, right over there. There you go. Gets Nnamdi Asomugha turned around just like he did in the first game. And then Mike Carey, who they know each other well. Yeah, nice shot or nice pass or nice something. They got a relationship, you know. There's Olivia in the crowd.
Yep. And I think that was Archie walking back out of the booth.
Oh, wife Abby right there as well. Eli, the proud papa.
First down at the 20-yard line for the Eagles. And a tie game early in the 4th, and McCoy, Kiwanuka stopping them behind the line of scrimmage.
I'll tell you what, Matthias Kiwanuka may have a few issues against the pass, but against the run, he's starting to get this. Nobody goes forward a whole lot better as a linebacker than Mathias Kiwanuka does. And now they're setting up a long yardage situation. So for Vince Young, got to hold tight here. You can't give him another one right on top of that touchdown.
Second and 12. Loss it, sell it. And the tight end takes the ball out to the 27-yard line. It'll be 3rd and 3.
You know, every once in a while, especially with the rookies, that time the rookie linebacker Spencer Paysinger thought he was going to have a sack. He doesn't watch a lot of Eagles tape because all they want to do is throw those screens in that exact situation.
Aaron Ross just hobbled off the field. Amukamara comes in. Top of the screen on Cooper. It'll be 3rd down and 3, and they give it on an inside handoff to Ronnie Brown. And Brown to the 34-yard line. Well-designed play and a big first down for Philadelphia.
Boy, it sure was. That was clever right there. Ronnie Brown lined up at the slot, and then it was Todd Herremans who's going to come out and make the trap block for him as he comes back inside. Huge conversion right there. The momentum had all shifted towards the Giants, and they pick it up a first down.
Ronnie Brown of Wildcat fame in Miami, first year with Philadelphia. Here's Young dancing and then throwing it incomplete. Intended for Owen Schmidt, the fullback. 2nd down and 10.
Well, for Prince Amukamara, you can't get a much bigger game than this one right here. The Cowboys won today, and Giants trying to keep pace. I tell you, I watched a lot of tape on this young man coming out of college. I think he's as good a cover guy as I've seen in a while. Of course, injured on the first day of practice after signing the contract. There's Ross on the sideline. Got a little lucky on the first one, but did get the interception as DeSean Jackson went by him.
19th overall pick in the draft at 2nd down and 10. And Young for Cooper, who can't make the catch, and they go to work on Amukamara, and it will be 3rd down and 10.
Yeah, Cooper had a shot at this one. Nicely thrown ball this time by Vince Young. For whatever reason, Riley Cooper could only get one hand up on it. Tried to save it from going out of bounds. Close to a great catch. Just missed.
Going Cooper's way a lot tonight, but he scored only 3 for 49 yards. His first 3 of the season. 3rd down and 10.
I think they're going Amukamara's way as well. Testing out the young player.
Bottom of the screen. He's one-on-one with Cooper. Young, and he hits Cooper as Cooper crosses over to the middle and gets to the 50-yard line. So a big 3rd down conversion again. 3rd and 10 for 18 yards.
Yeah, and again, we've got an issue with an underneath linebacker here. Jaquan Williams going to see the crosser. That's not his man. He should be getting his depth. He would have been right in that hole. Young linebackers tend to make that mistake a lot. They get jumpy on things that really don't matter. Those underneath routes are not theirs.
Reed saying we have to use our strengths and exploit their weaknesses, and that's what they're doing with the linebackers over the middle. Juwan McCoy. Nothing again. That's Kiwanuka stopping him before he can even get to the line of scrimmage, and that's a loss of 6.
I'll tell you, there is an advantage to having really long arms and playing linebacker. Kiwanuka looked like he was going to run right by it, and then he just reaches out and snatches LeSean McCoy with one hand and brings him down. That is some play. This is getting really good.
Oh, yeah. Ronnie Brown comes in. McCoy just took himself out, at least for a play. It's 2nd down and 16. 8 minutes to go. And Young sidearms one, and it is caught. And that's Avant making the catch, and he takes it to the 41-yard line. So on a 2nd and 16, they get 15. It'll be 3rd and 1. And now you got an injured Eagle, and that is Evan Mathis, the left guard. So an injury timeout. 7:49 left.
Well, I think they said it there. It's everything we could have hoped for now.
I think they'll throw this time.
It's walked off under his own power. Jamal Jackson comes in at left guard. They spot the ball. Avant making a tremendous catch just above, an inch above the turf. The ball spotted at the 42. Thus it's 3rd down and 3. McCoy still on the sideline. Ronnie Brown is the back here. And Brown lays the block down that enables Young to throw it to Harbor for the 1st down.
Boy, I tell you, Mark Herzlich just missed a spectacular play. Coming on a blitz right up the middle, and watch the block by Ronnie Brown as he steps around and gets back just before they get to Vince Young. Another big conversion for Vince Young. You can see he saw Herzlich coming. Got that little sidearm delivery going out there. That was big. Vince is playing really well coming down this stretch.
Big 3rd down conversions along the way here. McCoy comes back into the game. The ball is at the 36. They give it to him, and McCoy finally has a little bit of room through the middle. Takes the ball to the 28-yard line. Tackled by Kiwanuka and Grant. Gain of 7, 2nd and 3.
Kind of an interesting play. They're going tackle traps now with Todd Harrimans, the former guard, as he comes across here. Watch McCoy set it up by stepping wide and then dipping back inside. Sometimes, especially with young linebackers, they want to get so fired up and fly to the ball, you can take advantage of their pursuit.
Evan Mathis back in at left guard. 2nd down and 3. 6.5 to go. To the outside. McCoy cannot pick up the 1st down. Another big 3rd down coming up. Amukamara and Herzlich in on the tackle. Let's go back to that Avant catch for 1 second. This is worth taking another look at on a 2nd and very long. Watch the way he just does hold on to the ball above the turf. Pellets coming up, but that's from the Giant defender. Great play. Great play. 12th play of the drive. 3rd and 1. And Young's going to try to do it himself. He keeps those legs going, but appears to be a little short of the 1st down. The line judge comes in now. The line judge is going to give him forward progress to the 26-yard line. Yeah, that's going to be enough for a 1st down.
There was a 2nd push. I'm not sure he had it the first time. He got stuffed, but he backed up and then pushed his way back through to pick up the 1st down. Really a nice play that time by Vince Young. Watch him. He's going to get hit and sort of get knocked backwards. Now watch him just keep going and fall for the 1st down.
Vince Young, another conversion. The ball is at the 25-yard line. 1st and 10. From the gun to the outside to McCoy. Tackled at the 23-yard line. Kiwanuka is there, and we're under 5 minutes.
Boy, that was set up beautifully by the Eagles. They get Matthias Kiwanuka out in space with the motion by McCoy. Here he comes out here, and you're going to end up with one of the great athletes in the league out here one-on-one. But Kiwanuka gets off and makes a play. That's fantastic.
And Kiwanuka is still down.
Well, they cannot afford to lose him. They'd have nothing but rookies in there.
The veteran linebacker needs attention. Injury timeout. In this drive, 3rd and 3, 3rd and 10, 3rd and 3, 3rd and 1. Kiwanuka out at least for a play. 2nd and 7 here. This is the 14th play of a drive that's consumed over 7 minutes. Young's going to take off. Get tackled. Oh, yeah, at the 20-yard line. It's Jaquan Williams, one of 3 rookie linebackers in on that play.
He cut the wrong way on that. Watch Vince right here. See if he cuts back inside if he's not still running. Nice block by Selleck on the outside. He tried to bounce it around him. If he had stayed inside, I think he would have at the very least picked up that 1st down.
Here we go with a 3rd and 4. Kiwanuka is back in. Drive started back at the 20-yard line. 15th play. And they're going to have to take a timeout. And they're down to only 1 with 3:45 to go in a 10-10 game.
The problem they may not have unless they get this 3rd down conversion. Let's see.
It's a tightrope you've got to walk because your priority is to score.
Downs on this drive. A 5th opportunity here. It's 3rd down and 4. Ross back into the game for the Giants. Eagles line up in a tight formation.
It looked like the Giants tried to come with a blitz off the slot, I believe, and by doing that, it left Corey Webster in coverage too deep to get there against DeSean Jackson. Had a chance for the tackle, but missed it. And Vince Young has just kept converting third downs on this drive. Remarkable for a guy that gets no practice time during the season at all until this week.
8-minute drive, 1st and goal from the 10. Here's McCoy. He takes it to the 6-yard line with 3.5 to go. Linval Joseph making the tackle. Very balanced drive, 8 runs, 8 passes. You have to go back to 2002, longest drive in terms of number of plays for the Eagles, and it couldn't come at a better time for them.
17-play drive if you're not in the end zone yet, and it's only 2nd down. I wonder if Vince Young is going to get to throw the ball again or not after he threw the pick in the end zone last time.
Jackson wide right, Cooper wide to the left. Avant comes out of the slot. McCoy again taken down in the backfield. That's Kiwanuka making the stop, and it will be 3rd down and goal.
Well, you just can't substitute speed. Kiwanuka just being a monster in the middle of the field, going sideline to sideline. Here he's going to shoot the gap and outrun one of the faster backs in the league to make that tackle.
And the Giants take a timeout. Tom Coughlin needs to conserve the clock. I mean, Philadelphia already in field goal range again to set the standings. Giants 6-3. Dallas goes to 6-4 with an overtime win today. Can Philadelphia, on life support, save the season in effect tonight, at least temporarily? And the Redskins have now dropped 6 in a row to go to 3-7.
If you're willing to throw it here, it's probably going to be either a screen or a shovel pass. I can't imagine they're going to let Vince Young in this situation after this brilliant drive not at least have the ability to line up for a field goal. There's Marty Mornhinweg. We'll see the call, but a lot of times that shovel pass is pretty safe because if you drop it, it's just an incomplete. You kick the field goal.
3rd and goal. 18th play of the drive. Avant in motion. In the pocket. Over the middle and caught for a touchdown by Riley Cooper. Just a magnificent 18-play, 9-minute drive, almost 9 minutes. On 3rd down, they do it again, all the way down the field.
There was a lot of confusion on the part of the Giants in the middle there. They were trying to get shuffled, and it was Mark Herzlich who's trying to do the right thing, trying to get a jam on the receiver going across the field, basically abandon that middle zone. Great call by Marty Mornhinweg.
6 3rd down conversions. Cooper makes his 5th catch of the night and 5th catch of the season, and the Eagles are up by 7 with 2:45 to play.
Well, first of all, here's the confusion. There's Herzlich in the middle. Riley Cooper, as he gets that shove, is going to go right in behind him in that zone. Here's Herzlich again right here. Watch the crossing route. He gets a shot on Selleck, but then can't retreat fast enough to get in behind to Riley Cooper, who is having a pretty good night tonight for a guy that had no catches coming into this one from a backup quarterback. And boy, the confidence they showed in Vince Young there, huh? Nothing conservative at all about that call.
No Vic, no Macklin, and you have an 8:51 drive, 18 plays.
And we talked about it early on, the fact that Vince Young has such a history of 4th quarter comebacks, one of the absolute best in football. You can say anything else you want about the guy, but when it comes down to the game being on the line, almost nobody does it better. 40% of his wins have come on game-winning drives in the 4th quarter or overtime, and that stat may be going up.
The Giants have seen this movie before in Tennessee. So the Giants, of course, with a ton of time and 2 timeouts plus the 2-minute warning. So that is not an issue. Can they get it down the field? And they'll start by taking it out of the end zone. Scott about 4 yards in. And a flag is thrown as he brings it back to the 25-yard line. The Eagles are indicating holding on the Giants to push him back. Mike Carey with the call.
During the return, holding 53 in the return team. Half the distance to the goal. First down.
Greg Jones.
Oh boy, for Tom Coughlin, you know, you say just give me the ball and give me a chance, and now you're backed up in your own end against the pass rush that is going to be flying now. But Eli was so brilliant on that last drive, escaping, making big throws down the field. This has been when he's been at his absolute best this season in these situations.
From the 9. And Snee is back on the bench. Kevin Booth in at right guard. Manning sliding left. Jacobs hit and dropped at the 11-yard line. Eli going no huddle here on 2nd down and 7.
Just a 4-man rush, dropping everybody else in coverage.
Manning, that's caught, and finally it's Ballard able to hold on to the football to the 25-yard line, and that is going to take us to the 2-minute warning. The Giants with a pair of timeouts, a first down at their own 25 when we come back to the Meadowlands, where the Eagles lead the Giants 17-10.
What's going to happen? Let's go back and find out what actually is going to happen. Here it is.
For the Giants to traverse from the 25-yard line. Eli almost sacked and then is able to get it away. Philadelphia is saying he's in the pocket and nobody was around. But Mike Carey says no flag. Cullen Jenkins almost got the sack, loses his shoe. 2nd and 10.
Yeah, and unfortunately their best interior pass rusher now has to come out of the game.
Intentional grounding.
Well, now you've got it.
Offense number 10. Passes into the goal. Lost it down. 2nd down.
Well, that's your delayed penalty. They were arguing for it, and he was in the pocket and nobody was home, so they do call intentional grounding.
Yeah, was unable to get out. Eli tried to escape to the right and then get rid of it. Doesn't make it out of the tackle box, and he's under pressure from Cullen Jenkins. It's the right call.
And that's going to make it 2nd down and 22. Penalty cost him 12 yards. From the 15. Manning, and he's able to thread that one into Hakeem Nicks out to the 32-yard line. Giants don't want to burn a timeout here. Eli says, let's go, let's go. It's 3rd down and 3.
Well, I tell you what, Eli Manning off his back foot made one heck of a throw that time.
3rd down, and it's caught by Cruz, and Cruz gets away. Cruz inside the 30 and out of bounds at the 21-yard line. Victor Cruz.
Eagles blew the coverage. Just flat out blew it. They're going to come with a blitz here, but nobody covers for them. Usually the inside backer is going to run that way, but for whatever reason, Jamar Chaney didn't see it or didn't read it fast enough. Watch this one by Eli off his back foot. This is the one that got him out of the hole. That's a strong arm throw right there.
More Manning magic. 47-yard gain there. He was right. Look out. The ball is loose. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And it's Jason Babin with the sack, creating the fumble and a gigantic turnover.
This is one that Kareem McKenzie is probably going to get blamed, and it had nothing to do with him. He made a great block out here. Babin's going to run around, and it's only because Eli stepped up and scrambled back is the only thing that allowed Babin to get in on it. Eli never saw it coming. Just never saw it coming. Great job by Babin, right on the ball. What a huge play. And for the Eagles, those fourth quarter woes may finally be over.
Derek Landry recovers it. The Giants can stop the clock twice. But Philadelphia on life support may have just saved, at least for the moment, its season. They get New England next week, and the Giants go to New Orleans and then have Green Bay here. And that's a pretty good Quinella. And this is McCoy, and the Giants have to stop the clock here.
Speaking of life support, Juan Castillo has been criticized so much this year. Andy Reid deciding to take his offensive line coach and make him the defensive coordinator. And boy, oh boy, when they needed it most tonight, his defense was brilliant.
And that was after they had given up that pass by Manning on third down off his back foot, and the pass to Cruz. And there is Castillo, who has been with this team even longer than Reid. Andy's been there since '99. He came over from the Ray Rhodes regime. There was Jim Washburn, who was the longtime assistant at Tennessee, who just gave him a hug.
Well, if the Eagles can pick up this first down, the Eagles defense won't have to go back out there. But if they can't convert it, the Giants are going to get the ball back with at least a chance.
Second down and 3. And this is going to wrap it up. And there goes McCoy through the Giant defense. And out of bounds at the 2-yard line. And the only thing that the Eagles didn't do there is McCoy has scored a touchdown in every game this season and looked like he was about to make it 10 for 10. Instead, it's a 60-yard gain to the 2.
But it actually was the best thing that could have happened, because obviously the only chance you've got is if you can get the ball back somehow. And now the clock simply runs out for LeSean McCoy, and we have been waiting all night for this big breakout run. He did it last game against the Giants, and there he was. Brilliant when he needed to be, but it took until the last minute of the game to get one.
60 of his 113 yards on that carry. First Eagles player to run for 1,000 or more yards in the team's first 10 games. That's 1,019 this season. And Philadelphia can take a very happy bus ride down the turnpike.
Delay, offense, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Again, New England next week. The Eagles flew home from Buffalo on October the 9th and have not been to the airport since. They will go a week from Wednesday when they have the Thursday night game in Seattle. But it's all been home games, a bus ride here, a train ride to Washington, or a bye week. No frequent flyer mileage.
And for the Giants, 2 heartbreakers back-to-back against this Eagles team. The Deshaun Jackson punt return a season ago. It was a Deshaun Jackson punt return tonight that set this thing up, and then Jason Babin with the blindside hit got his hand right on the ball. That free agent just paid off for Philadelphia. What a game, though. You know, this is really what makes the NFC East special. We saw it earlier today with Dallas and Washington going to overtime, and this one coming right down to the wire. And Juan Castillo, congratulations to him. Boy, he has taken a pounding this year.
You know, you never want to say this is like a trap game, but when Vic isn't going to play and Macklin isn't going to play and Philadelphia looks like they're dead ducks. And maybe in a way it was a little bit of a trap game for the Giants.
You just can't say enough about Vince Young. I know his statistics aren't going to look brilliant. I think he had 3 interceptions on the game or whatever. But he made so many clutch plays on that final drive in the fourth quarter that has just been a nightmare for the Eagles to take this team straight down the field and throw that touchdown pass to Riley Cooper. Give them all the credit in the world.
Well, we said at the beginning that if Philadelphia is to win the Super Bowl, they'd probably have to reel off 11 straight. 7 in regular, 4 in post. That's 1.
Still a long way to go, but for Andy Reid, he'll take that one.
And the Philadelphia Eagles come to the Meadowlands, knock off the Giants by a score of 17-10. The latest on Jay Cutler on the Wendy's post-game report coming up after these messages from your local NBC station.
Well, not all of the things we said at the top of the show have turned out to be true, but we promised you it would be a close and brilliant game, and it was a close and very, very good game indeed.
It's not that we were wrong as much as we just simply jinxed everybody.
We were right in different ways.
We highlighted, yeah.
Well, we can